Yeah, this one doesn't really work. This work? It's better. All right, everyone. The time is now 7:32, and this meeting is now called to order. Would anyone like to utilize open forum at this time?
Johnston at large. Hey y'all, hope everybody's having a good start to their week. And this week is a big week, campaign week for Miss Homecoming. So everybody's got a lot going on, a lot of concoursing to be had later this week. So I just encourage y'all to fit in some margins in y'all's week. I know it's gonna be a big one for me because it's gonna be a really fun week, but also a really busy week. And so just create some time throughout your days to get a little free time, something that you enjoy, and just to not run yourself into the ground this week. Thank you all.
Okay, would anyone else like to utilize open forum at this time? Ben, can we pull up the PowerPoint?
All right, War Eagle. Good evening, everyone. Briefly, oh, you already got it up. Awesome. So, my name is Deja Trammell. I am the new student advocate here at Auburn, supporting your needs and all of the constituents and the students you serve, right? I wanted to talk a little bit about the Bias Education and Response Team. Anybody here familiar with BERT? Okay, good. I have some nods. So this is what this is. We can go, what is a bias incident? What is BERT? Reporting an incident and a BERT response process. You can keep going. Basically, what is a bias incident? Go ahead. Age, disability, gender identity, marital status, national origin, race, religion, sex, veteran status. We want to make sure that our students here feel protected and are safe. They sometimes fear retribution of going to Title IX, which is a formal process. We wanted to create a structure that would help them have a voice, feel more comfortable coming forward, and actually have some steps to move forward if they didn't feel comfortable. And so what my office does, they provide, what is BERT? Go ahead. What my office does, it provides a space for students to come in and say, hey, I feel like this experience. My faculty didn't let me take a test. I feel like it was because of my gender. I feel like it was because of my race. A student said something to me. It's not a policy violation, but I still feel it threatens my existence or my ability to persist at Auburn. We want to create spaces where you can come in and have conversations. It can be as anonymous or as intentional as you want it to be, and then you get to choose how you move forward in that. And so our purpose is to come together through education, resources, and support. You can go through those. Fun little scenarios. We'll get to that another time. Keep going. How do I report an incident? You can go to Albee/BERT report and be as anonymous as you want to, or if you provide information, I get the report so I can contact you. You can come to my office and we can have some discussions and you tell me how far and to what extent do you want to pursue, or do you want to talk through some solutions where you may not feel as comfortable in other scenarios. Most of us are leaders in this room, so we know how to be in conflict, we know how to manage, but some of our students that we represent do not. So we want to create that safe space so that all can come forward. You can also come in person, email to any BERT team member. We'll review the bias. We'll let you know if there is a policy violation or a code violation. It will be sent to campus safety, Title IX, or student conduct. Outside of that, you have the freedom to come and speak with me in the office, and what we can discuss will be confidential. Keep going. The greatness of a community is most accurately measured by the compassionate actions of its members. There's a survey going around. If you would, scan that and tell me what you think. Tell me what you heard from the students. It's completely de-identified. No email addresses are on it. Be as candid as you would like. Let me know the temperature of the campus, because administrators and students are sometimes on a different page, so that we can provide the resources we need, all right? That's my office. I'm located in Blends downstairs, right in that little corner office that's hidden. Come see me at any time. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Would anyone else like to utilize open forum at this time?
Hey y'all, my name is Liz Mitchum, and I'm so excited to be serving Jenna this week as her campaign manager, and so thankful for a few minutes of y'all's time to share a little bit more about her platform. Jenna's platform, Jump In With Jenna, is all about mental health, building community, and promoting wellness, 3 topics that every member of the Auburn family can relate to.
And it does not take research to know that Auburn is ranked amongst all universities across the country for the happiest students. So I think it's very easy to neglect our peers who truly do struggle with mental health. And I mean, I know all of us in the room at one time or another has struggled with it, and maybe even now do. So when I heard that this was Jenna's campaign, I was like, gotta jump in, man. Gotta do it. Look it up.
Hey y'all, my name is Graf Sullivan. For those of you who don't know me, spent a few good years in these seats being a senator for engineering. So excited to be back. And really why I'm back is not just because Jenna's been one of my good friends since freshman year, but because everyone's been affected by mental health in some way. That's not something that you've had to live with. It's something that one of your friends or loved ones has dealt with. And that's what Jenna's campaign is really focused on, is not only taking care of yourself, but also taking care of your loved ones.
Also, one of the big things that Jenna is pushing is the VAR tactic. It is a conversation aid, and it stands for validate, where you're validating one's feelings for coming to reach out, appreciate them for reaching out to you, and refer them to one of Auburn's resources.
Hey y'all, I'm Jenna. Thank you so much for the honor of being able to come and speak in front of you today. This platform to me is more than just a platform for Miss Homecoming. This is the life that I live and have lived every single day, and having the courage to really share my vulnerability and my story with Auburn. This past year, I was diagnosed with anxiety and depression, and it was a long time coming. I was too ashamed to tell my friends, too ashamed to tell my parents, and too ashamed to go seek help. Being the president of my sorority, student recruiter for Auburn, having such great friends and family, and loving this university so well, I felt like my life fit too picture perfect of a mold to experience the symptoms that I faced. And I felt like by sharing my story, it made me look less and it made me look weaker. Once I jumped into my community and into the Auburn family, I realized that vulnerability is not weakness, and that it really is strength, because it allows ourselves to be fully seen, but it also allows us to dive into our community. So my platform has 3 actionable steps to help us do this. The first is enhanced connectivity. You guys are doing a great job by being in SGA and having that voice for the student body. Once we're a part of a community, I'm sure that you guys can attest to, we know that we can lean on others and have something that's much greater than ourselves. The second step is leveraging Auburn's resources, as Juju mentioned, VAR training, so how we speak about mental health, not only for those who struggle, but the friends, roommates, and classmates of those individuals. And the last is personal growth and wellness. This looks like giving back to yourselves before giving back to the community. I'm sure you all have heard it before on airplanes. They tell you to put your oxygen mask on before helping others, and so I want the Auburn family to embody that. I know with these tactics, with these steps, and by having the courage to share my story, I'm hoping that we can share our vulnerability together in the Auburn family and become stronger. Thank y'all.
Would anyone else like to utilize open forum at this time?
Hello y'all, my name is Judd Harden, and we are representing the wonderful Miss Grace McNary for Miss Homecoming 2022. Grace is that person who you have one conversation with her and she feels like she's your best friend. She is just so authentic and real and genuine, and it takes seconds to realize that. She has a huge heart and an even bigger personality, and just so much passion for the things that she cares about. And her spirit is just really contagious. She's so much fun to be around. I've had the blessing of getting to know her through Student Recruiters, where she kills it, by the way, but she really is just one of those people that you can always count on. She makes everyone around her feel completely welcomed and accepted, and there's no one that Grace meets that does not just kind of fall in love with her. So she's awesome. She also has just a really, really cool platform, and Maddie's going to share a little bit about that.
Yeah, hey y'all, my name is Maddie, and Grace's platform, Make It with McNary, is all about making student veterans and students who have military connections feel at home and welcomed at Auburn. We have a lot of active military that are students that are enrolled here at Auburn, and they're not very outspoken about it, they're not very loud about it, so Grace really wants to highlight them this week and make them feel seen and known. And she can't wait to meet everybody on the concourse this week. She really wanted to be here tonight, but she has class until 9 p.m., so she'll be there. But thank y'all so much for letting us come and share a little bit about Grace, and y'all have so much fun in your Senate meeting.
War Eagle.
War Eagle.
War Eagle. Thank y'all so much. Would anyone else like to utilize open forum at this time? Oh, thank you.
Hey everybody, my name is Sue Ellen Broussard. I go by Sue, but I can talk a little bit more about my platform for Miss Homecoming this week, and just thank y'all for letting me come here today.
Okay, my name is Dan Claire Disney, and I'm so excited to be here today to talk about Sue's campaign, Step Up with Sue. I'm stepping up with Sue because getting to know Sue has been such an honor, but I see how much she cares about the campus climate here at Auburn and making sure every student feels like they're included in the Auburn family.
Hey y'all, my name's Angie Daniel, and I'm stepping up with Sue because she believes in the future of Auburn. I know that Sue was one of the first people that made an impact in my Auburn experience, and I know that she will continue to do the same for everyone that I step after.
Hey y'all. So I'm really focused on the amplification of underrepresented student groups' voices, while at the same time focusing for all students to grow in their personal growth in education and diversity, equity, and inclusion. My background in this is that I come from a very small town in Alabama, and truth be told, like when I came to Auburn, there was so much blatant racism like deep down inside of me that I had to unlearn when I came here, and I feel like a lot of students can relate to me in that, and it took me a long time to be able to even talk about that, actually just last year, but becoming an RA on Auburn's campus also opened my eyes to this. I mentored underrepresented students that took on a lot of pressure when they were looked to as some of the only underrepresented voices in a dormitory. I've seen that in the involvement realm, I know y'all have as well, and in classroom settings, and I think it's something that really, really needs to be talked about. I, as a white female, know that I do just not know the underrepresented students' experience here, but I want to learn, I want to have those hard conversations on the concourse, because this entire month has just showed me how much I do have to learn in this platform and in this subject matter, and it has just really opened my eyes and humbled me very much so. A quote that I always like to use to just bring me back to focus of this entire month and what I'm trying to do with this platform is by Ralph B. Drawn, and it says, "Owing much to the past, Auburn's greater debt is ever to the future." I know that, and I know y'all know that firsthand, working towards the progression of Auburn every single day. And I just feel like this is my personal footprint on Auburn's campus climate, and I'm just so blessed and humbled that I even got to share it with the entire campus next week, and it's just the biggest blessing ever. I really hope y'all step up with Sue next week, and thank you so much for letting me come. And to remember my name, I brought you a pizza with my name spelled out with pepperoni. So enjoy. Thank y'all so much. Bye y'all. War Eagle.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to utilize open forum at this time?
Hi everyone, I'm back again. My name is Dan Claire Disney, and I'm one of the Auburn Rings directors. I just wanted to come here today because I talked to Coleman earlier. She actually said that one of your involvement hours can be if you step up, if you're in another organization this week, since it is Ring Week, and encourage the members of your separate organizations to wear their Auburn rings. This is available for all juniors, and the limit is 72 credit hours is when you can order them. So please just help us by letting your members know, and you can also use that as your involvement hour. Thank you all so much for all your help this week. War Eagle.
War Eagle. Would anyone else like to utilize open forum at this time?
Hey y'all, we're here to talk on behalf of MEB Easton for Miss Homecoming. Amy's platform mainly focuses on reaching freshmen, which is a huge thing, as many of y'all know, as you get to Auburn, as you get to college. It's really tough to build those relationships, and so that's a huge thing for me, is to have older students reach out to me and build me up and plug me in. So with that being said, it's been a huge thing for me, for Emmy to do that for me when I was at Auburn.
Something that really stuck out to me in Emmy's platform was the fact that she really embraces student connectivity. It's no surprise that one of the special things about Auburn University is the fact that we have the Auburn family. You can go to a neighbor, you can go to a friend, and you always have someone there to talk to or communicate with. But that doesn't happen easily. So one thing that Emmy really emphasized is pushing initiatives early on your freshman and sophomore year, such as First 56, so that we can bridge that gap and make more people involved with the Auburn community.
One of my favorite things about Emmy's platform, it is not just limited to freshmen. We all know that as older students, we're able to connect freshmen with the communities that have created our Auburn experience. This platform is all about the Auburn family and how we welcome its newest members, and that's why I am so excited to support Emmy's in this effort.
Emmy's main point is to make connection, but she also wants to help students find their unique passions through promoting events such as the First 56, and her main points are she wants every Auburn student to find their reason, share their reason, and be the reason. Emmy loves Auburn, and she's so deserving, and I love her platform so much. And whether she wants to promote students just to reach out to someone they haven't talked to in a while, or just empower people to find their passions, or just sit with someone that's even eating by themselves, her main point is that she really wants to promote student connection, because that is so important for everyone at Auburn to have that connection, and so that's why I love her campaign.
Thank y'all.
Thank y'all for having us.
Thank y'all. Would anyone else like to utilize open forum at this time? Seeing no one, we will now move into roll call. Please ensure that you are in your seat so that we can take roll call. We will now go into the approval of the minutes. The minutes were sent out electronically last week and this morning. Are there any corrections that need to be made to the minutes? Seeing none, the minutes are now approved and corrected. We will now move into our reports from our officers, beginning with our president.
Hey y'all. So my report this week, we had a successful Board of Trustees meeting this past Friday. They approved a lot of really exciting facilities items that are really going to improve the student experience, including they're going to continue to renovate the village dorms, but they're only going to do it during the summer. So that way it doesn't affect how many beds we have live during the typical school year. We had the grand opening of the ACLC. We know that students have been having classes in there now for since the start of the semester, but it was a really great event, and I just love being in there. I'm so excited to see how it's going to affect students from here on out and for years to come. On CHEG, I know that the academic affairs team has been working hard to try to figure out what the situation is with that and why it's been blocked, and kind of what the process is towards getting it unblocked, because as y'all know, CHEG is not just used for one function. It's used for textbooks and learning how to do problems, and so we're working with OOT and got a really good response from them about the future of fixing that whole situation. And then just something that I wanted to ask y'all about, I've got an upcoming meeting with Dr. Joffrey Gaiman about admissions, and so with that, there's just so many questions right now about the future of Auburn in terms of admissions, and we went from 80% acceptance rate to 40% last year, and that, or not just last year, but in the past 3 years we've transitioned to that. So if y'all have any questions for me that you want me to ask in that meeting, please let me know. And past that, that's all I've really got.
Thank you, Jake. We will now move into our report from our treasurer.
Ann Claire actually covered most of my report in her open forum. If you are eligible for a ring and would like to buy a ring, I would encourage you all to come out this week and purchase the ring from the team at the table. They're doing a really great job, and this is a big event that SJ puts on twice each year. And so I really encourage y'all, like I said, to, if you're interested in getting a ring, I would encourage y'all to get it now. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Jake. Now we'll move into our report from our Executive Vice President of Cabinet Administration.
Hey y'all, so yesterday we had our forum retreat. We have a great group of 54 incoming or freshman students. They are really fun. They're really eager to get involved with SGA. With that being said, I will be sending out a forum mentorship sign up for the committee chairs. So committee chairs, feel free to fill out that form after Senate when I send it in the group me. You'll be able to determine how many mentees you want. So that's that. Another thing is we have finally got graphics for the EXP branch. Coleman sent it in earlier to y'all's group me, so really excited to start promoting that. We're slowly growing members, which is great, and I guess we will get a lot more once we start posting those on social media. Another thing is that we had our AU bookstore focus group recently. Really excited. That went really well. They were really appreciative of the students that did volunteer for that, and we are actively looking into ways to improve the bookstore. That's all I have for tonight. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Rhett. Now our report from our Executive Vice President of Communications and Marketing.
Hey everyone, couple things from me. We're doing another sweatshirt order. They won't have the retro logo, vintage logo, and all of that because we are not approved to use that by the Office of Communications and Marketing at the university. So instead, we're gonna have proofs next week, but there'll be a navy sweatshirt and a white or a gray sweatshirt, and it'll have the Student Government Association written out in that logo on the chest, in light blue on the navy, and then in white on the gray. So more info to come on that. Also, don't hate me, but if you can be here at 5:30 next week, unless you have a conflict, seriously, please come because we're taking the group SGA photo. I know that is 2 hours in advance for y'all. Feel free to leave and come back. But we're taking the big SGA photo. Y'all are getting your Senate group photo, all of that. So if you want to be in the photo that's on the website, come at 5:30 to the steps right outside of the Student Center, and then you're free to go. It should take like 10 minutes, and then you'll be free to go. And then lastly, we're going to do some Senate stuff on the Instagram. We're starting Senate Sunday starting in October. I think it's the first Sunday in October. So basically that will tell students who follow the SGA Instagram what's coming up in Senate on Monday so that they can get in here if they want to for Citizens Open Forum or something like that. And then lastly, Senate recaps start week after next, so either Tuesday or Wednesday. We'll put up a graphic of the things that y'all talked about, what was voted on, anything like that, and let students ask questions, interact with y'all in a different way, and if they don't just want to come to Senate. So other than that, I know it was a lot. Let me know if you have questions. Yeah.
Y'all should have received an email from me earlier about the photos. Liaisons, y'all are welcome to come. We would love for you to. Next, our report from our Executive Vice President of Outreach.
Hey, hope everybody's doing well. Not a whole lot for me. We have our voter registration drive tomorrow with our city relations team and our civic engagement team from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Haley Concourse. The mayor's going to come out for a little bit of it, so go out there. If you're already registered to vote, just go get a popsicle if anything. Sign up to volunteer for Hay Day. Sign-ups are closing this Friday, so if you want a free t-shirt and just want to engage with Hay Day, do that. And this week, if you don't mind gathering feedback on game day this past weekend, and then ring week is this week also, so get feedback on that. But that's it for me.
Thank you, Fluker. And now we have our report from our Executive Vice President of Initiatives. However, JD is not here, so I have his report. So JD's report said, Recre updates, the lockers in the Melton Student Center and Louder Hall are seeing the most usage out of any lockers on campus that Recre's been on. They also added extra security step that requires students to sign up with their @auburn.edu email address, so it's not just random people signing up. And then he also has 2 questions he wants me to ask y'all to just respond to openly. And the first one is, what are areas on campus that you find unsafe? Anywhere else that y'all can think of?
They're
Any other feedback? Okay, the next question he has are, what parking complaints have you heard?
That seniors did not get parking. There are so many people, and not just seniors, upperclassmen in general, because it used to be that parking was like first come, first served, and that's why we have the days, seniors on this day, juniors on this day. But this year, apparently they allocated however many spots per class. So now there's sophomores, no offense to the sophomores, like love y'all or whatever. But now there's sophomores with PC1 parking and seniors who didn't get anything when they logged on at 12:01, on their day. So.
Fair.
I think driving through Central Campus is one. Like, a lot of people get a ticket for that. If you create like a drop-down bar, or like, I don't know what you call it, like going into a parking deck or something. But if they don't want people driving through there, then like just make it to where they can, and then they will get like a ticket for it. That makes sense.
Mhm.
The Arlo gravel lot by the nursing building, it's just like, it has tons of potholes, and it's like, a lot of people have popped their tires in there, so that's a big complaint. And it can fill up, but that's not as big of a problem. The biggest problem is just like how, like, there's just so many ruts of like divots in it that people have got popped tires and things like that.
Also, I've heard from grad students that their parking is still, but it's not all for our apartments.
I've heard that one of the biggest issues that people have is that there'll be all these parking zones, but they'll drive past these parking lots and there like will be no cars in there, but they can't park in there because it's a zone. So like it'll be open all day during the week. Like there a ton of parking spots will be open and no one parks there because it's a zone lot. So they're just pretty much not being used.
Yeah, so that's pretty much mine, so I have PC4 parking, and like every single day, half the lot is empty, and so I don't know if they didn't sell enough, so people just park there anyway, but that's everywhere. There's just a lot of extra spots that they could definitely allocate to other students.
Jamie?
Some of my friends were still in grad programs around Auburn. They have classes till late at night, and sometimes on Friday nights, and they close certain lots, and one of them being the student center parking deck, reader parking deck, whatever you want to call it. And those lots are closed, and they either, your car's stuck there during game day, or your car gets towed for game day. And there's not really enough advance notice for what lots are and are not open the night before game day. And if there is, they don't really know what time they're supposed to move their car. So if they're here during research till 10 p.m., and they walk back to their car at 10 p.m. and they find that it's gone, that's a pretty tough situation.
Some of the zones have very few handicap spots. I know there's a lot of zones where they're always taken, which I know could be an issue for a lot of people, so that's definitely something to look into, I think.
And speaking of driving through campus, so let's say we have like a friend or someone who has like handicap accessibility needs. So when you go in certain B lots, you have the camera where you can't drive there and you get a ticket. There's no way for them, to my knowledge, to go in and put like a friend's tag number when they drop them off at class. Let's say you have a broken foot, you need to be dropped off in class or moving. Besides, of course, our golf cart services. If you're not, how do you get the campus in first place to use that golf cart service? So we don't really know how to handle accessibility for our students.
Great. I'll send those over to JD now. Thank you all so much. And that will conclude our reports from our officers. We will now move into our committee reports, beginning with academic affairs.
Dot at large, we just had a really great meeting with the academic affairs team on cabinet. Just kind of talked about what they're working on and what we're working on, and something we're picking up on that is new is we want to start a textbook drive for the student veterans on campus, because I know their resource library doesn't have a lot of textbooks, so trying to start a drive for that. And then going back to Scantrons, I know we talked about there being a complaint with business law using the Scantron still, but I heard of some HDFS classes still using them, so if y'all have any feedback on that, please reach out to me. And that's it.
Thank you, Madeline. Now we'll move on to our report from our Budget and Finance Committee.
Seward business. So we just have a lot of the final budgets coming through today. It's future orders, and so we'll vote on those next week when they're current orders. And then we also have a reserve fund request coming from the College of Liberal Arts and their executive student council. So that'll be coming through as a future order today too. That's about it.
Thank you, Nick. And now our report from the Code of Laws Committee.
Herring, COSAM. So Ashton couldn't be here, but we have two big things that we're going to be working on. So we're working on updating the plainsman requirements in the code to reflect that the fact that they are an independent media outlet, so we can't require them to publish anything, so we just need the code to be updated to reflect that. And then secondly, also in the code, it says that the Vice President of Student Affairs and the University President have to sign off on every bill that comes through the Senate. But since that's not occurring, we just need the code to reflect the actual procedure. So we're going to be working on that, and that should be coming shortly.
Thank you, Kara. Now our report from our Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee.
Lozano business. One thing that we're going to continue looking into is the international student housing issues that we have. And then a new conversation that I want to start this week is getting preferred names on Tiger cards, maybe for next year. But it's always your legal name for your first name, so maybe seeing if we could get preferred last name. That's all.
Thank you, Julianne. Now our report from our Student Affairs Committee.
To start off, what we're doing is we're transitioning for Tiger Transit. We're transitioning to a marketing first approach, and so that means for us to properly communicate route changes and other administrative changes as new drivers become available. Chloe and Fox are bringing chargers to the Brown Couple front desk. If you're interested for having that be a possibility for your main building in your college, please reach out to me and we can find out the feasibility of that. Next, we're looking to upgrade the kiosks for Panera. As of right now, you can only use your physical Tiger card, so if we can introduce the phone tap option, that'd be great. And if you have any microwave feedback for your specific college, please reach that out to Lucy. Thank you.
Good. Thank you, Jabin. And now our report from our Executive Committee.
Jones at large, not much for me, just a reminder to do your office hours, but we're going to do live signups for dining again, so if y'all want to do that.
We'll do 11 a.m. on Monday.
Okay. Just Madeline and Lucy for 11. Okay. Give me 2 seconds. Yeah, just write it down. I'll fill it out.
Copy and paste it, put it in a new one.
Yeah. I swear I changed it, but I guess it didn't. What time is it? 11 on Monday. The two of y'all together?
Is me and Senator Johnson take a look at him on Friday?
On Friday? Yeah. Everybody? Nobody else?
Yes. Friday at 12.
Just you?
Oh, and M.
Oh, let's go. All right, 2 more. Going once. I know you want one.
You don't have to fill it. It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
I mean, I could do
All right. No, it's okay. All right. We're good. We're good. All right. That's it for me. Also, we have 12 future orders tonight, so we'll be reading through this. But yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Senator Jones. We will now move into our reports from our liaisons, beginning with the Honors Congress.
Wood Honors Congress. Not too much to report. We are planning some events to come up pretty soon, and we're planning our first tailgate to happen pretty soon. And we also attended another one of our organizational leadership classes where we had a guest speaker come talk about diversity and equity and inclusion in organizations, and that was super cool.
Thank you, Sullivan. And now we have our report from the Black Student Union. Tiani's first official report.
Bailey, BSU. So today in GA we discussed BERT, which was the Bias Education and Response team, and we also had an in-depth discussion about financial aid, how the members of BSU felt about it, and we had like some very interesting topic questions. And then our next GA is 5 p.m. on Mondays. Hopefully I'll see some of you guys there.
Thank you, and now our report from the ASVA.
Or student veterans. I don't have too much to say, but I did hand out some, I guess a pamphlet. It's not a pamphlet. It's just two pieces of paper stapled together. But it is talking about Operation Iron Rock, which I've talked about the past 2 times I've been up here. This is an event that we put together to raise awareness for veteran suicide. So it's something very special to us veterans. But if you read the paper, I have a few extra too, but it gives a more in-depth description of what the event is. And then on the other side of it, it has some donatable items. These are the items that we actually ruck with on our backs. So anything that you want to donate, we'll be carrying. And we carry 22 pounds to honor the 22 veterans that commit suicide a day. So if you are interested in donating or know anybody that's interested, just let me know. And I can also give you another copy of that. And that is all I have.
Thank you, Molly. Next up on the agenda, we have our current orders of business. However, we have no current orders of business. We will be moving into our future orders of business. The first future order we have today is PSSB 22092601 by Senator Jones.
Jones at large, I ask for approval of following: Lucy Alford, Gunnar Smith, Chloe Grace Cochran, Jonathan Smith, Ed Jones.
Are there any questions on this future order? Seeing none, we'll move on. Next, we have PSSB 22092602 by Senator Jones.
Jones at large, I ask for approval of following: Tyler and Rudolph College of Engineering Senator.
Are there any questions on this future order? Seeing none, we'll move on. Next, we have PSSB 22092603.
Jones at large, I ask for approval of following: Rhett Flott, Coleman Turnipseed, Peyton Carr, Jake Darling, Vincent Indova, Ann Claire Dismukes, Rowan Sen, Emma Petty, Elizabeth Bartlett, Emily Hall.
Are there any questions on this future order? Seeing none, we'll move on. Next, we have PSSB 22092604 by Senator Williams.
Williams Human Sciences, I ask for approval of the following: the allocation of $107,010.92 to the Black Student Union for the 2022-2023 fiscal year among the following categories: Communication and Marketing, $3,000, Quick Ties, $900, Breakfast for You, $600, Fresh Start Frenzy, $1,690, Fall Forum, $1,000, Unity Week, $1,500, General Assemblies, $1,580, Jazz and Poetry, $10,980, Black History Month Speaker, $10,000, First Year Experience, Freshman and Transfer Committees, $1,500, Community Service, $2,710, Recognition Banquet, $2,400, Academic Success, $500, Student Stipend, $6,420, Office Supplies, $455.92, Leadership Development, $9,025, Soul Food Bazaar, $4,480, and MPHC Collaboration, $48,000.
Are there any questions on this future order? Seeing none, we'll move on. Next, we have PSSB 22092605 by Senator Treadwell.
Treadwell Business. I ask for approval of the following. The allocation of $97,640 for the Emerge budget for the 2022-2023 fiscal year. The amount will be allocated among the following categories as shown. Phase programs, $25,650. Initiatives, $15,000. Retreats, $49,500. Student stipends, $7,490.
To go along with this, we got a recommendation from an administration to change one of these line items, the titles of one of these line items. So we're going to discuss with the representative for Emerge, and so just a heads up that may change. So,
Are there any questions on this future order?
What line item would they be changing?
they're thinking about changing retreats to leadership training, I believe.
Leadership training or leadership development. Leadership trainings instead of retreats.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna discuss that with Emerge Leadership before we make that change.
Are there any other questions?
Why are they not changing it? What is the thinking?
Honestly, I think it's just more for, it just kind of is a better representation of what they're doing. So instead of just like general retreat, like they're using that to develop their upcoming lead. Like that's what the program is. It's for leadership, so.
Are there any other questions on this future order? Seeing none, we'll move on. Next, we have PSSB 22092606 by Senator Seward.
I ask for approval of the following. The allocation of $387,500 for the involvement administrative budget for the 2022-2023 fiscal year. The amount will be allocated among the following categories as shown. Communications and marketing, $139,000. Convocation, $28,000. Glomerata pages for SAOs, $7,200. IDEA, which is Inclusion, Diversity, Equity, and Action, $8,000. Insurance and legal fees, $2,500. Involvement awards, $22,500. Mail services, $250. Office equipment, phones and software, $64,050. Office supplies, $10,000. Reservations and facilities fees, $1,000. Staff professional development, $34,000. Staff training days, $2,500. And staff uniforms, $3,500. Oh, and then student leader training, $10,000. And student wages and stipends, $55,000.
Are there any questions on this future order? Seeing none, we'll move on. Thank you, Nick. Next, we have PSSB 22092607.
Lubin Nursing, I ask for the approval of the following. The allocation of $78,809 to the International Student Organization for the 2022 through 2023 fiscal year among the following categories. Office supplies and equipment, $819. Social hours, $45,350. Peace dinners, $17,500. World's Fair, $2,880. Soccer tournament, $3,475. Mental health day, $1,200. Promotional items and printed material, $3,500. Name tags and polos, $1,410. Student stipends, $2,675.
Are there any questions on this future order? Seeing none, we'll move on. Next, we have PSSB 22092608 by Senator Lozano.
Lozano Business, I ask for approval of the following. The allocation of $216,362 to the Student Organization Activity Portfolio for the 2022 to 2023 fiscal year budget. This amount will be allocated among the following categories as shown. Engage, $43,272. AU Involved Training, $2,000. O Fund, $150,000. Diversity Programming Fund, $10,000. President's Training, $3,000. Advisor Training, $3,000. O Board Administrative Costs, $150. Involvement Ambassadors, $2,000. Organization Days, $3,000. And Student Stipends, $2,140. Oh, questions?
Are there any questions on this future order? Seeing none, we'll move on. Next, we have PSSB 22092609 by Senator Smith.
Hello, Smith Business. Sorry. I am Smith, College of Liberal Arts. That is treason right there. All right. That never happened. All right. I ask for approval of the following. That's never going to leave my memory. All right. The allocation of $293,189 for the Student Government Association budget for the 2022-2023 fiscal year. The amount will be allocated among the following categories as shown. Academic programs, $150. Athletic programming, $40,550. For ALB, $45,339. For Better Relations Day, $3,400. Communications and Marketing, $11,100. For Creed Day, $1,700. For elections, $650. For Executive Council, $4,600. For External Affairs, $4,900. For Freshman Forum, $2,750. For Graduate and Professional Schools, we have $84,100. For Heyday, $34,485. For Initiatives, $500. For Miss Auburn, $15,000. For Outreach, $4,200. From Schools Councils, $5,500. From Senate, $5,900. And SGA Leadership Training, $2,150. And from Student Stipends, $26,215.
Are there any questions?
The stipends will be going to the leadership for the presidents, vice presidents, treasurer, your communications, marketing, your EVPs. And
there's a list.
I think that's it.
It also covers the directors of lobby, since they are members of Sga Cabinet, so that covers their stipends for the year.
And the webmaster.
And webmaster.
Are there any other questions? Seeing none, we'll move on. Next, we have PSSB 22092610.
Raines, CADC. I ask for approval of the following: the allocation of $188,609.99 to the Student Media Student Activity Portfolio for the 2022-2023 fiscal year budget. The amount of $35,523 will be allocated among the following categories to Weagle Radio. Engineering equipment, $10,000. Membership subscriptions, $3,300. Publicity, $1,000. Website maintenance, $1,443. Web streaming, $3,500. Live events, $9,000. Student stipends, $4,280. Executive officers, $1,000. Uniforms, $2,000. The amount of $87,147 will be allocated among the following categories to the Glomerata. Event services, $2,500. Marketing, $1,000. Membership subscriptions, $409. Photo services, camera maintenance, $1,000. Printing, $70,000. Supplies, $500. Uniforms, $1,200. Website maintenance, $1,433. Student stipends, $9,095. The amount of $41,821.99 will be allocated among the following categories to Eagle Eye TV. Equipment, $15,000. Software, $10,700. Data plan, $2,788.99. Website maintenance, $1,443. Memberships and subscriptions, $150. Conference travel, $900. Publicity, $500. Student stipends, $7,490. Executive officers, $2,500. The amount of $24,118 will be allocated among the following categories to the Auburn Circle. Printing, $17,000. Website maintenance, $1,443. Events and services, $1,850. Publicity, $1,000. Membership and subscriptions, $150. Student stipends, $2,675.
Are there any questions on this future order? Seeing none, we'll move on. Next, we have PSSB 22092611 by Senator Hall.
Hall at large. Ask for approval of the following. The allocation of $781,095 to the Programming Student Activity Portfolio for the 2022-2023 fiscal year budget. This amount will be allocated among the following categories as shown. Campus Traditions, $80,850. Executive, $66,250. Films, $51,450. First 56, $143,175. Marketing, $32,500. Special Events, $124,700. Technological Productions, $5,000. Tiger Nights, $249,900. Video Games, $15,500. And Student Stipends, $11,770.
Are there any questions on this future order? Seeing none, we'll move on. Oh, yes. Sorry, I didn't see you.
So I do understand the first 56, they have their concert. So there's a lot of the programming that you see, and it's still kind of going on. And might need a little clarification on when that last, or when the 56th day of school is. October 2nd. So a lot of these funds are going towards, so it's spread out over the course of the first day of school till October 2nd. So, and of course, a large chunk of that does go towards that concert, but there's also kind of some of those events you've been seeing on the concourse that those funds go to.
It's obviously a lot of money. Do you know how much this is compared to last year's budget that they requested?
So last year's budget still was kind of low because of, COVID-19 issues and everything. This is about a $200,000 increase and some change. It is a little bit more, but after speaking with the financial, vice president of financial person from UPC, they've had a lot of communication within their committees, and this is an expansion that they really need, I think, to reach more students.
I'll send you all more detailed line items after this meeting. Are there any other questions on this future order?
So Tiger Nights, I started on Tiger Nights last year. They're responsible for alcohol alternative late night programming. And so a lot of the events that you see on Friday nights, they had Fall Fest. I think it's coming up again in October. So we have all the, I don't think they had a Ferris wheel out there. We have the zip line on the green space, also the Magnolia Ball. That was a big project we were responsible for. And then I'm trying to think of and of course some of them are slipping my mind, but they're basically late night programming, and all the committees you see there, I'm not trying to ramble on, but all these committees are responsible for something specific. So films, they do concerts in the stadium, special events, they're more of concert oriented. I think they have a concert in the spring, video games of course, and all that.
Are there any other questions on this future order? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to our last future order of the night, which is PSSB 22092612.
Seward Business, ask for approval of the following. The amount of $350 to be allocated to it says Executive Council, but it's supposed to say Schools Council, line item from the Reserve Fund. This allocation would provide the College of Liberal Arts Schools Council the opportunity to execute a Let's Talk event. They will be promoting mental health resources and partnering with the Auburn Student Counseling and Psychological Services.
Are there any questions on this future order? Seeing none, that concludes our future orders for tonight. At this time, we will now move into announcements. Abby already talked about this a bit earlier, but you should have all received an email from me earlier this afternoon explaining SGA photos. Headshots are at 4:50 outside of Cater Lawn, and SGA photos are at 5:30 on the Melton Student Center steps. After that, we'll be doing our schools council meeting to where all the schools council presidents and vice presidents will give their reports. So y'all are more than welcome to stay with that and talk with your schools council members. That will count as an involvement hour for all of you. But if you have to leave and go somewhere, that's fine as well. Next, Ben, will you pull up that sign-up sheet I sent you? Next, a campus partner has reached out to SGA asking if senators would be willing to enjoy a free lunch with candidates for the new executive director of campus rec and wellness. We'll be doing live sign-ups for these now, but we have them on Friday, Monday, Wednesday, and next Friday, and we need 2 senators per slots. This opportunity will also count as an involvement hour and is a great way for students to get to know these candidates and talk to them about your experiences with health and wellness on Auburn's campus. Would anyone like to sign up? Yeah.
We'll do Friday.
The first Friday? This Friday? Or the next?
Can we do next Friday?
Mm-hmm.
I would do Monday at 11:30.
Artie?
Can I do Wednesday and 11:30?
Did anyone else like to sign up? Mm-mm. What?
I'll do that Friday, 7th.
Okay, perfect. That's this Friday. Would anyone else like to sign up? Mm-hmm. So we have another opening for both Monday and Wednesday. Ryan?
Can I sign up for Wednesday, September 28th? 11:30.
We have one more with Nick Seward on Monday. I will. I'm signing up. All right. You're welcome. All right, and so that concludes it. Thank y'all for all of you who signed up. We're looking forward to it. Jamie will send us some more information later because that's all the information that I have. And that is all of the announcements that I have right now. But all of you keep up the great work. Remember to be